I think we can all agree that 2020 was a pretty terrible year. But for some, myself included, in retrospect, it was actually a pretty amazing year. So I thought I would kind of make a little video just doing a sort of recap on how my 2020 went. So to start, I was living in Orlando, Florida, working at the most magical place on earth, Walt Disney World. And on my off days, I was pretty much making vlog after vlog for y'all, some of which ended up getting some pretty good feedback, which, in my opinion, is pretty awesome. But all that changed in March when the Corona Nation attacked. And what followed was that Disney basically decided to close all their properties worldwide and put all of their cast members worldwide on furlough, myself included, for the foreseeable future. So because of that, I ended up going back home to Ohio, only expecting to be here for like 2 weeks minimum, 1 month max. But no! I was here for 5 months. 5 whole months. But I'm going to be honest, it actually wasn't all that bad. Now, I'm sure we've all heard stories of people who went absolutely crazy while in quarantine, but thankfully I was able to retain most of my sanity throughout, and I honestly have to thank God for that because at the end of the day, this was what was happening, and all I could really do was just pray that the days ahead would get better. So a few things happened throughout the summer, the first of which being the camera. So in early June, I was very lucky enough to get my hands on the Canon 90D, also known as my dream camera. And that pretty much changed my life when it comes to YouTube. It pretty much paved the way for more quality content for me to produce. And with that, I was actually able to pump out a few pretty good videos, but keep in mind, I've said numerous times that Ohio is boring AF and that there's absolutely nothing interesting to film here. So when I wasn't on camera, I was basically just playing soccer and frisbee with my friends throughout the summer, and that was pretty much it. So now we're going to skip ahead a little bit to late July when I received what was easily the most unexpected phone call of my life from Disney, asking me to return to work. And again, completely unexpected. So much so that it actually happened right after I was done doing a little soccer training session. So I think that explains enough. So about a week later, I packed up all my things and my dad and I began our 2-hour maiden voyage to Orlando, Florida. And boy, was I so excited to finally be back home after like 5 months. But I will say this, a lot had changed, and obviously the main thing being all the new COVID restrictions. First of which being the masks. Now, for me, the masks, they don't really bother me, okay? Even being in 90-degree heat almost every day, they didn't bother me. And that's coming from someone who is extremely warm-blooded, mind you, so again, I think that explains enough. Now, another big change was at work/the parks. Now, again, the masks are being heavily enforced, but not only that, things just seemed sad. Like, no one seemed truly happy, both from guests and cast members, and to be honest, I can kind of understand why. Now, let's just get the elephant in the room out of the way. Walt Disney World opened with mainly the rides, and that was pretty much it. I mean, almost everything else was shut down, from a lot of the restaurants, to shops, to character interactions, meet and greets, to parades, and even fireworks. And because of that, a lot of the magic just wasn't fully there. And if you guys want, I'll even make a little cast member confession video basically going over my experience as a former pre- and post-COVID cast member. So now let's fast forward about a month to when I decided to come back home to Ohio and seek treatment for my bulimia that I've been battling for over a year and a half. And while I was beyond sad to say goodbye to the Sunshine State and Disney, I just knew deep down that this was the right decision to make. So in late September, I started my eating disorder treatment, and about 2 months later, I was very happy to actually graduate from ED treatment after being almost 2 whole months. I just flung my earbud across the lens. Sorry about that. No, I was almost 2 months sober, which is crazy. That's something that I never would have thought would have happened. And by the way, if you haven't seen my ED confession vid, click right here. Now, it was right after treatment that I decided that I was really going to commit to YouTube and start posting a lot more content, some of which I've never posted before, like the stories. Like this one, for example. And for those wondering, yes, I do script this shit, mainly because I sort of have a tendency to stutter and slur my speech when I talk out of my ass, so thanks, autism! Now let's fast forward a bit to Christmas, where I was beyond lucky to get my hands on the ever so popular PlayStation 5, an item that I never thought I would get, but I did, and I couldn't be happier. So, now what? What's next for my channel? Well, I think it's pretty safe to say that I have pretty much everything I need to keep a good and steady upload schedule. In fact, I recently got my hands on the Elgato HD60S Plus, and with that, was able to make my first gaming video in like 4 years, which is absolutely crazy to be honest. Oh yeah, and I recently hit 300 subscribers, so thanks y'all. So yeah, I think I can finally say that I'm actually pretty happy for once. I mean, sure, 2020 didn't exactly go the way that most people planned, but at the end of the day, it's pretty much up to you and I to make it the best it can be. And because of that, my 2020 actually turned out pretty amazing, if I can be honest. And do praise the Lord for that. So, what's next from your old pal Aiden for 2021? Well, at this point, only time will tell. So, make sure you're subscribed. And who knows? I might just do a giveaway soon. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I just hope all y'all have a safe and blessed year. And with that being said, take it easy, everyone. Stay beautiful.